this. It's not a lesson on how to catch a drone. That is the first time I've ever caught my finger. Anyway, let me explain what's going on. Okay, first things first, let that be a lesson to everybody watching. Don't try and catch a drone unless absolutely necessary. Lesson learned, finger almost lost. So we are at a location in the Lake District that I like to frequent quite often. It's this beautiful reservoir, and last time I was here, I was shooting film, and I specifically remember getting quite excited because the water levels were quite low. At least I thought they were going to be low. And then when I woke up in the morning, I was a little bit disappointed because the water levels were actually quite high. Although that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, so it resulted in quite a nice image of a lone tree submerged in the water. But I remember at the time thinking to myself, if the water levels were low enough, I'd be able to get out to one of the islands that are in this reservoir. Well, I was driving past said reservoir about an hour ago, and the water levels are the lowest I have ever seen in my entire life. So I had to pull in. This wasn't the plan. I was never going to shoot this area, but I had to pull in, sent the drone up to have a look, and by golly, the water levels are low. And we can definitely access one of the islands. I don't think we can access the second island. But either way, this is it. This is my subject, this is my location, and this is what we're going to shoot tomorrow morning. It's too late now. It's too dark. We've lost the light. But tomorrow, we're going to have a good old explore with the camera and see what we can see. I've got no idea. But it's, it's just like, for me, it's like a brand new location. And that is quite exciting. So I'm going to let you into a secret about landscape photography. Well, maybe not landscape photography per se, but certainly how I operate when it comes to photography, creativity, and motivation. But first, we are having cheese and onion slice and some vegetable samosas. Oh, perfect fit. So the difficulty I have with landscape photography is the lack of certainty that you get right before a shoot. So quite often when I head out, I think it's probably going to be a waste of time. The weather doesn't look that good. I don't even know what I'm going to shoot. And I always have this doubt in the back of my mind that I'm basically going to waste my time and come away with nothing. So I don't have a solid subject, a solid location in mind. And perhaps I should. Perhaps that's a weakness on my part, not planning and not putting in enough hours or recce's. But then I really love the joy of just reacting and the more spontaneous side of photography. Fit, damn you. So I plan to come out as per usual, clean the van. The van is looking tidy, by the way. So clean the van, got it fresh, waxed, polished, cleaned it inside and out, and it's looking great. And I also cleaned all of my camera gear after my recent trip to Skye. So I'm coming out and I've got this certain doubt in my mind, because although I know I'm coming to the Lake District National Park, I have no idea where I'm going to go, what I want to shoot. Literally, I'm aimless. I'm just driving. And I got to the Lake District and I saw that the autumn colours hadn't even begun to turn yet. Not really, tiny pockets here and there, but all in all, it's pretty green and not quite there yet. So I'm feeling quite disappointed. And then I drove past here, past this location, past this reservoir, and instantly saw how low the water was and saw how much potential there was for images. It really sparked my interest. The creativity just hit me. I went from down here to thinking I'm going to just go home to up here thinking full of excitement and a rush. So I pulled off the road, came around the back of the reservoir. That's where I am now. And I'm full of inspiration, full of ideas, full of hope, anticipation and excitement for tomorrow morning. Like the big secret is just I don't know what the secret is. Get out there, and just the creativity, the gods of creativity will shine upon you. Morning, everyone. Don't know what to say. Honestly, I don't know what to say. This is better than I ever could have hoped for. So I've never ever seen mist and fog at this location, so I'm very excited, coupled with the fact that we have such low water, which gives the shoreline this incredible shape, and it just makes for some fantastic images. Well, it does when you can see them anyway. The fog's quite thick at the minute, so I can't see much, but the composition I've been working on this morning is a shot here of the sweeping shoreline leading off into the distance. What drew my attention to this as a composition in the first place was the simplistic nature of it, the cleanliness of it. It's a lovely smooth curve around to the bottom of the lake. Right up my street when it comes to minimalism and kind of distraction-free photography. Anyway, first image, F16, looking straight down the reservoir with this beautiful mist and fog that we have this morning. So it won't have escaped your attention that we have this beautiful gnarly tree hanging off the edge of this small drop here. And this is the first thing I spotted when I came down here, and I thought this is, this fantastic subject. And as soon as I looked at it, I thought there's no way I can compose that. It's chaotic, it's messy, it's difficult to isolate, but I thought I'd tackle it because of all of the mist and fog. So I'm framing it up. This is just a bit of a wild card image, to be honest with you. It's quite a tight frame, it's quite messy. I'm not quite sure how it's going to fit as an image. And, if it doesn't work out, I'll just edit this out and no one will ever know. But if it comes out okay, I can pop it in the video and you can all think that I'm a genius. But I'm not, I'm just experimenting and trying my luck. So I'm actually going to move on from this location because I can't believe I'm going to say this, the fog is too thick. So the sun's out now, which is going to mark the end of our photo shoot this morning, but not quite yet. I've been waiting patiently on this spot for a good hour or so to see what would happen with the mist and see what happened with the light, and my patience has paid off. Let me tell you now, this image that I'm photographing, I mean, you should never get too excited about your own images, especially when you're only looking at them on the back of the camera. But this looks like the image of the day. This looks like, you know, this is everything I could have wished for and more. The mist has settled at the bottom of the reservoir, or the top of the reservoir. The light is now hitting my subject, which is the peninsula which I was stood on earlier this morning. We have balance within the composition of different tones and shades and the mist and the light, and it's so still and so clean. I'm really happy with this. At the minute, I'm going for a 16:9 composition. It just seems to work well. That letterbox format works really well with this scene, but I may well change that in post. We'll see. But yeah, this is fantastic, and it's all because of the mist, which gives depth, separation, mood, and atmosphere. I can't speak highly enough of mist and fog. So yeah, I'm really happy with this shot. I don't make top tip videos. It's been a while since I've done one of those, but I do like to have some sort of takeaway or message within my videos. And today, that message or that takeaway has to be the fact that I well and truly surrendered myself to the landscape, which sounds daft, and I did talk about this last night in the van. But when I left my home yesterday, I had no idea where I was going to go or what I wanted to shoot. And every mile that I drove further from my house, the urge to turn around and go home just grew stronger and stronger. And I started to get a bit depressed. You know, I drove for hours around the Lake District and nothing was catching my eye, nothing was inspiring me. But I knew from experience that if you put yourself out there, just you know, forget everything and just get yourself outside to a location, right? Something will happen. And something did happen. I drove past this reservoir, I saw that the water levels were low, and that was enough to get me inspired and get me excited. It's like I mentioned before, it's like the creative gods kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, there you go. So I didn't plan it, I had no idea. I just let things happen and very much hoped I would see something, hoped something would inspire me. And the truth is, the world is full of images. There are images everywhere, all around us, every day, every minute, every second. But they only exist in potential. So it's up to us, the photographers, to see that potential and make an image. Sometimes it's easier than others. When you have beautiful light, mist and fog, it's fairly obvious, and sometimes it's not. But allowing yourself to be in a state where you can start to recognize that potential, that's great. I love spontaneous photography. I love reactive photography. If you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, you'll know that I'm not a big planner. As much as I think it's great to do that, it's not something I do personally. I like to rely on, just intuition. And that may not be a good thing. We'll never know because maybe in an alternate universe there is a me who plans and executes. But in this universe, oh God, I'm talking about the universe. Oh dear me, this video's gone south, right? But you get what I'm saying, don't you? Just have a bit of faith and just let yourself be open to anything in the landscape. There we go. That's the message to take away from today's video. I do apologise for getting a bit hippie. you know. But there we go. Right, I'm going. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And like and subscribe, comment, let me know your thoughts on everything. And my calendar's still available, I think I've mentioned. Alright, I'm definitely going. Until next time, bye for now. Well, that was the worst calendar plug in history, but if you're new to the channel, every year I sell a landscape photography calendar consisting of my images over the past year or so. So you can get that in the link in the description below, which really helps support this channel. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, see you next week.